Afghan girls who have been confined to their homes urge the Taliban not to snatch their right to education. Kabul resident Rahila Nusrat is in her final years of high school, but she has not been able to attend classes. The reason Afghanistan new rulers have decided to keep teenage girls out of school for now. Last month, the Taliban announced school would be opening, but only boys of all ages were asked to return to school, leaving out secondary school girls. The move has raised questions about the group's policy about women's education. The Taliban said a safe learning environment was needed before older girls could return to school, adding that schools will reopen as soon as possible without giving a time frame. Education is one of the most fundamental human rights, but today that basic rights has been taken from me and millions of other Afghans girls, Nusrat told Al Jazeera. Afghanistan has struggled to get girls back into school during the Western-backed government of President Ashraf Ghani, according to a 2015 survey prepared for UNESCO by the World Education Forum. Nearly 50% of Afghan schools lacked usable buildings. More than 2.2 million Afghan girls were unable to attend school as recently as last year. 60% of the total children are out of school in the country. The Taliban's lack of clarity on the reopening of secondary schools has compounded the problem and is a blow to millions of girls, especially those whose families thought the end of the war could return to some semblance of normal life. Nusrat said, when the Afghan government fell, I lost my right to education. This was that first time I cried specifically because of my gender. She said she still does not understand the reasoning for only keeping teenage girls from education, but she is certain that if it continues, it will only backfire on the Taliban. They kept saying they want young people to stay and use their talent, but they are just driving us all out, Nusrat said by phone from her Kabul homes. Thousands of young Afghans fled the country after the Taliban returned to power on 15 August, 20 years after it was removed from power in a US led military invasion. Nusrat viewed herself as an example, saying she is currently preparing for English language exam so she can apply for study abroad opportunities. As someone who managed to come from one of the nation's poorest provinces, Daikundi, where even boys drop out of school as teenagers to start working as daily laborers, Nusrat said the Taliban is losing out on entire generations of driven, determined young people. She said, I studied for 14 years in Kabul. I went through primary and secondary school during a war, but now I will have to leave the country. I will apply to universities abroad and some others country will take me and my talents because they know it's not possible to study in a Taliban-led Afghanistan. The Taliban stance on the education of girls and women has faced criticism from Qatar and Pakistan, which have called on the international community to engage with the Taliban. At a news conference last month, Qatari Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani said it has been very disappointing to see some steps being taken backward by the Taliban, who in the 1990s were the only leader to ever ban women and girls from education and employment in Afghan history. Sheikh Mohammed said Qatar, which hosts the Taliban political office, should be used as a model for how a Muslim society can be run. Our system is an Islamic system, but we have women outnumbering men in workforces, in government, and in higher education. The Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan said that although he doubted the Taliban would once again place an outright ban on girls' education, the group should be reminded that Islam would never allow such a thing to happen again. The idea that women should not be educated is just not Islamic. It has nothing to do with religion, Khan told the BBC. Prior to the Taliban arrival, cultural traditions were used as a basis for some families to keep their girls, especially older ones, from school. According to UNICEF, 30% of Afghan girls are married before the age of 18.